Have you ever woke up and thought, just let me get through today? Looked at that person in the mirror and said, I don't even know who that is anymore. You have been so busy surviving that you forgot who you are. You forgot how to dream. You forgot how to do anything more than survive. If that is you, I'm just Janae, and this is Dreams Don't Expire. All that you want is still out there waiting for you. Dare to dream again with me.
You know, we have started a new year, and the thing that we always do during a new year is start looking at our goals, our resolutions, whatever, and looking at how to become a better us. But today isn't about fixing yourself. It's about remembering yourself. I seen a quote, and it had the moon, and it says, "The moon reminds me you are still whole no matter what phase you're in." And I thought about that, and I thought, we don't give ourselves grace for the phase that we're in. We look at ourselves and we judge ourselves harshly. I guarantee we don't see ourselves through the true lens. 5 months ago, had no intention of quitting my job or writing a book or doing a podcast. And I jumped in. I just jumped in. And while I'm not sinking, I'm not where I thought I'd be. I thought I would be further ahead. And instead, it made me realize, I wrote a book. Great. What do I know about marketing a book? What do I know about getting it out there to the public? Nothing. I started a podcast based off of the fact that I listen to podcasts, not because I know what I'm doing, not because I have anybody behind me saying, okay, here's your next step. Here, I just went, okay, let's go. And so I'm not getting where I wanted to be because I have knowledge I need to learn. This is my phase, if you will, to learn how to do all the things I'm now into. I just found out in the last month that podcasts are on Spotify. Now, that means I have to really get into Spotify, which I've never used, and find out how to put my podcasts on Spotify. If I had gone about this the way everybody else does, I would have known that going in. I would have had my ducks in a row before I started, right? But I went in the way I was meant to go in. And my progress is exactly where it's meant to be. Just because it's not where I think it should be or where I wanted it to be doesn't mean that I'm failing. It means that I'm learning. It means that, I did the hard. I jumped in. Now, I got to learn how to be a great swimmer, right? I got to go for the Olympic medal because I'm not just playing at swimming. This is my entire future. This is my life. So rather than beat myself up for jumping in, I'm giving myself the grace of being proud that I jumped in anyway, even though I was terrified, and that now's my time to learn, and there's nothing wrong with that. And as long as I go forward a little bit each day, everything's going to get better. Everything's going to get where it should be. It just isn't going on my timeline, which how dare it not, right? We all have a timeline we think things should happen on, and they very seldom do. And when they don't, we beat ourselves up. And we don't give ourselves the grace we should. So, when you look at the moon, it's full and it's bright and you can just see that bold brightness shining down, and it almost doesn't look dark outside, even though it's the middle of the night. But then a few nights later, it's only half that, right? And then a little bit later, there's only a sliver. Well, do you know that crescent moon symbolizes new beginnings? So when it's at its smallest, it is getting ready to start something new. It is getting ready for the next part of life. So if you are feeling like you're not quite there, if you are feeling like you're a sliver of yourself, just know you're on the cusp of the new. You're on the cusp of the dream. You're on the cusp of where you're supposed to go. And instead of fighting those phases that we go through, what would it look like if we leaned into them? What would it look like if we honored them? I think we are in such a hurry to get where we want to go that we sometimes don't take the time to look at how far we've come or to appreciate how far we've come. I'm looking going, I need to sell more books than this. And I didn't sell as many as I wanted to or expected to or whatever, right? But if I look at it, I wrote a book and had it selling in Amazon in 2 months. That's pretty impressive. I got a podcast started with no knowledge within 3 months of having quit my job. I have some amazing wins that I am going to overlook if I don't take a moment to remember myself. If I don't take a moment, instead of fixing all the time, let's remember we're still amazing. And we may just be in a phase that looks different than we thought it was going to. It doesn't make us any less whole. It doesn't make us any less beautiful. When people draw the crescent moon, almost always they have stars dangling from it, right? Almost always there's a little smiley face in the middle of it or a beautiful face in the middle of it. So rather than feel like you're less than when you're in that crescent moon phase, be empowered, because it means you are in that new beautiful building stage, and this is where you're going to get a lot of growth. This is where you're going to be a lot of learning, and give yourself the grace to learn and stumble, because stumbling is just as much a part of that phase as anything. And then cheer yourself on for getting up. Let's not beat ourselves up so bad. We tend to be unforgiving. We can look at that moon and see it in all of its phases and love it in all of its phases and understand that just the part I'm seeing isn't the whole moon, it's just the part I'm seeing. And we give it grace and we celebrate it, actually. But when we look at ourselves, we don't see it in the same way. We don't see our whole self. We see that sliver. We see that half. And we don't give ourselves grace, and we don't celebrate ourselves. So today, I would love for you to tell me, what phase are you in right now? What would it look like if you were to honor that phase instead of fight it? Think about it. Know that this phase is meant for you to go through. Things don't happen by accident. I really don't believe so. And if you're not where you want to be, what do you got to change? What do you have to change? What do you need to learn? It's in your hands. You get to decide where you're at. And if that's not empowering, I don't know what is. I'm exactly where I thought to be. Now, do I want to be somewhere else? Yes, that means I got to fight to get there, right? But I'm exactly where I fought to be. And I'm telling you right now, it's not where I want to be, but oh my gosh, it's so much higher than I thought it could have been 7 years ago. And I'm so grateful that I started my journey. And even though the journey doesn't look today like I wanted it to, it looks exactly how it's meant to. And when I come out the other side, I'm going to have so much more knowledge, and I am going to be so much more prepared for what I need to do stepping forward, that this is a beautiful time right now. There's frustration, there's moments of doubt, right? Because that's who we are, which, by the way, these moments of doubt we were not born with. We have picked up along the way. So if we weren't born with it, we can get rid of it, right? So keep working on fighting that doubt. because it is not who you are. It is not what you're capable of. It is not any part of your life. So get rid of it and celebrate the phase you're in. Guys, enjoy every minute of the journey. You know, that's really what it's about. It's the journey, not where you get, but the journey getting there and who you become during that journey. So here's to your crescent moon. May you enjoy every minute of it.
Hey, thank you for having watched that episode of Dreams Don't Expire. I'm just Janae, reminding you, this is your time to rise. Your time to believe in who you are, to become who you are meant to be. So get up, go after those dreams, because guess what? You deserve them.